Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined on Sunday, just turned midday. Sky Sports' very own former world champion, Mr. Johnny Nelson. Johnny, how are we?
I'm good. You look rough.
Yeah.
You look rough. You been up all night, baby?
You know, I'm glad I'm not on the screen. I'm glad I'm not on the screen. It was, as we get older, trying to stay up here gets quite difficult. As you know,
see that big jet of black hair you've got is going to be grey sooner rather than later. So you know, make the most of it. Get a little Elvis thing going
on. Johnny, let's dip straight into it. It was a heavyweight classic. Will definitely go down one of the great fights of this era. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Let's jump straight in. Round one. Looked like Deontay Wilder was jabbing to that body, keeping that long distance between him and Fury, not letting Fury get in. Just talk me through it.
Let's give credit where credit's due. First of all, Tyson Fury has answered every doubt, every question I've had about him as a fighter. There's always been that toss about who's the best in the world. He's established himself to be the best heavyweight in the world today. He showed boxing ability, ring craftsmanship. He showed mental understanding of the game inside and outside the ring. When he walked in at 19.5 stone and Wilder walked in at 17 stone, and he said to you guys, "You know, I'm overweight. I've not done anything, playing the fool to catch the wise." And if you understand that sport and he proved that. So enough respect to him. He proved that in regards to the weight he came in at. The tactics he chose. He was choosing to come in, so he had the weight on, so he could walk Wilder down, lean his weight on him to make Wilder work twice as hard to hold him off and try and punch himself out. Even the shots he'd ride the shots, even the shots he took from Wilder, who is one of the biggest punchers in the world. Wilder came in with bad intentions at 17 stone. So that meant he wants to hold his own, he wants to go in there and try and knock Fury out. Which he couldn't do. He was trying every which way. So again, it's maximum props. Tyson Fury made it quite clear and established it well on every level that he's the best heavyweight in the world. And good on him, with respect where respect's due. And when you're getting that from another ex-fighter or other fighters, you know you've done well. I'm quite sure every fighter around the world will give him a slap on the back for that. So you know what, you've stubbed us all to say, look, you know, I'm the Gypsy King. It's not just about boxing. It's about the art of fighting. So when a man's in close, you've got to drop your weight, drop your knees and put your weight on him. You've got to use your jab. When the shots are coming, you've got to try and negate the shots and come up with your own to double the impact. He had every aspect of that down to a T. Yes, he got caught a couple of times in round 4 when he got put down. But you know what? I was like, I actually thought to myself, God, if I was sat here with Brendan watching this, he'd say, brilliant, masterpiece. And you know what? Well done, Tyson Fury.
Johnny, in that third round when Fury dropped Wilder, it seemed like Wilder was really, really struggling towards the end of that round. When the bell went, a lot of people were thinking, is he going to even make it out of the next round 4? Credit where credit's due. Wilder comes out, legs quite strong, and then he drops Fury. Were you surprised with his response so soon after being knocked down?
Not at all, because Wilder, you could tell him coming in at the weight he came in at, the way he's trained so mad since in preparation for this. As far as he's concerned, he's going to throw the kitchen sink at Tyson Fury for the first half of the fight because he believes he just needs that 2-second break, and he got it twice in the 4th round. But Tyson Fury relaxed. If you watch them both, when Deontay Wilder came out and was banging the shots to the body, nice stiff jab to the body, but it was full force in every shot of that. That zaps your energy. If you're trying to hit someone hard all the time, you're going to get tired. If you're watching Tyson Fury shots, they fall from the forearm. He's just using pace. So you're not hitting as hard, but you're still making effect. And so each time Wilder was trying to throw the shots, each time he was trying to hit Fury, he was zapping his own energy. On top of that, Fury's walking towards him with his 19 stone 7 self to drop the weight on him. So he had to work twice as hard to push him up. That's why Wilder was absolutely exhausted towards the back end of the fight, because he didn't, bar carrying the extra weight he put on, he had to carry Tyson Fury's heavy self, and he had to deal with the shots he was firing out there.
So obviously, Wilder knocks down Fury. Fury looks like he's in a struggle to get out of the round. He gets up just about the second time, round 5, 6, 7, 8, and it seems like then Fury starts to get in the rhythm and starts to win those rounds. Did you see it like that as well?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think I said it'd probably go about 10 rounds because, you know, there was either, and if it went that far, you know, you had to lean towards Tyson Fury to pull it off, because if Wilder had not got rid of him early on, then he wasn't, you know, by the grace of God, wasn't going to outbox Tyson Fury, which you saw. Tyson Fury was starting to outbox him and starting to really school him. He actually schooled him. And it wasn't just the win, it was the manner of the win, because he was in there with a man that, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the biggest punchers in British boxing, in world boxing. And he actually negated the shots, slipped the shots, wasn't afraid when they were in close. He didn't panic, stayed cool. So it was a whole picture. It's the art of mental warfare as well as physical warfare. It was a whole picture. And this is why I'm giving him master props, because every doubt, every question that I had on Tyson Fury, he answered it in that fight. Everything. Because he's in with a big puncher. He had to box him, he had to negate him, he had to use all the tricks of the trade to work it out on him. No heavyweight has that in their arsenal. Some might be athletic, some might be fast, some might be powerful, but no fighter has that in their arsenal. All of that in their arsenal. Bar Tyson Fury, and he's been saying it for years now. You know, he was in there with somebody that made him show that, prove that.
Johnny, I know obviously in the second fight, Deontay Wilder says, "Let me go out on my shield. You know, don't ever throw the towel in." And towards that latter part of that fight, it seemed like he had nothing left, and he was going in there just with his heart.
Razzie, you know what? My worry before the fight was this: Malik Scott's his friend. So friends do what's best for you. And I'm quite sure Mark Breland did what's best for him, what he thought was best for him. My worry was that Malik Scott is going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. As his friend, does he do what his friend says and let me go out on my shield? Or does he do what's best for his friend? Because it's all right now, you know, in 10, 20 years' time, when you can't tie your shoelaces, when you can't remember your own name, when you're talking really slow, you know, then that's payback. And I understand that this stage in your life, you're willing to commit, you're willing to give anything to get the success, be it, you talk about dying in the ring. You know, that's how stupid we fighters get at a certain point in our career. It's not until you get older you think, well, what am I doing? And my worry was Malik Scott would forget what hat he was wearing, coach or friend. And listen, it'd be very easy to kick him out when he's down right now. So all I'm saying is, well done to Deontay Wilder. He put up. He was part of an amazing fight. He tried to walk the walk, walk the talk, should I say? So well done to him, and well done to Tyson Fury. You know, there's no point in going over old ground in regards to what was said and what wasn't said. Let's just deal with what happened last night.
Johnny, when you have a rivalry like they had, sometimes at the end, well, most of the time at the end of fights, fighters go to each other, hug each other, congratulate each other, you know, and trying to just leave on good terms. It seemed like it didn't happen. Tyson Fury said very clearly, I went up to Deontay to say well done, etc., and Deontay just said, go away. And Tyson went on to say he's a sore loser. I've beaten fair and square. I've beaten him not just once, not twice, but I've beaten him 3 times. What do you make of that from Deontay, the demeanor of not appreciating?
That's emotions. You know what? I put it down to emotions. I put it down to the heat of the moment. And if that's what he really believes, that's what he really believes. And that's what I'm saying. It's that we can easily carry on hammering some nails in and crucifying this man for the things that he said and done from the first fight to this point. Let's forget that, man. Yeah, that's we're all human. At the end of the day, he's got kids, he's got a woman, he's got a family. So it's all right to kick him out. It's not good to kick him out when he's down. So that was, for whatever reason, that's what he did. And I'm quite sure if he wants to, we'll discuss that down the line. But again, I'll just commend Tyson Fury for, you know what? He actually, if you're into boxing and you're watching boxing, you know, it's not just about throwing a shot. It's about the whole picture. And it's really nice. It was nice to see somebody that I looked and I thought, everything Brendan talked about with boxing, I've just seen it right there in that fight. Everything. I've seen it right there in that fight. And so he's got my respect. Humble respect, man. Well done to him.
John, is this the end of this rivalry now? Is it sealed, done?
Why do it again? What's the point? Why do it again? You know, 3 times it's happened now. 2 times it's been official. 1 time it hasn't. Why do it again? If the money's there, if Wilder wants to put himself through that again, I don't know. I think his friends and family say, "Yo, listen," you know. But that, again, that's down to him. I'm quite sure there's other fish to fry for Tyson Fury. If he wants to do it again, he needs the challenge. He needs that thing to get him in the ring, get him training. He needs that danger.
John, just last quick fire ones. I know you got to go with Sky Sports News, but obviously Fury is now mandated to fight the winner of Dillian Whyte and Otto Wallin. One, do you think that fight actually takes place, whether it's Wallin or Whyte or Wallin, or do you think WBC might elevate Fury to franchise champion?
Well, Fury's got to fight somebody. So at the end of the day, why wouldn't it? I can see it happening. He's got to fight somebody next if he wants to fight next. So I can see it happening. I can't see why it shouldn't happen. And listen, Dylan's my boy, and AJ's my boy. But I'm telling you now, from what I saw last night, those boys need to understand they're stepping up with somebody that's proven that this man is a fighting man. He's a whole package. So you've got to match like for like. And if you can't match like for like, he's proved, you know, anything less is not enough.
I mean, where does Deontay Wilder go? He's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. I believe he turns 36 this month. Obviously, heavyweights go out on for a little bit longer, but he's made a lot of money. What do you think?
Made a lot of money, made a few enemies over the last couple of years. Gracefully. How would his heart feel right now? How would his appetite feel right now? It wouldn't surprise. I was surprised actually we got to this point after the last fight. And I'll be surprised if you see him again. I'll be very surprised. But this is down to him. It's his decision. And I'm just trying to stay away from kicking the man when he's down because it was tough for him.
Finally, I will end on this. I know Joshua's your guy. I know Dillian Whyte's your guy. But is Fury the best of his era?
Yeah. Point blank. There's no arguing. You know, everybody, A can beat C and C can beat A, whatever. But what I'm saying is, from what I saw last night, compared to performances I've seen of the said recently, what I'm saying is, what I saw last night, Fury has proved I'm the best. He's a man to beat. I'm not saying he's impossible to beat. What I'm saying is, he's proved he's the best out there, and you've got to give credit where credit's due.
Johnny Nelson, get rid of those replica belts in the background that I can see. You were never a world champion, my friend.
No, you get your hair. Get some sleep, man. Get some sleep.
Johnny Nelson, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Anytime. See you later.